Alright, so most of the chances we've taken so far has worked, and our program is working well so far. So the next thing we have to do is to make sure that people can search. And at that point, we can now say that we've reached our MVP. You understand? So from after our MVP, we can choose to take our time to redesign this site in terms of the look and feel, or we can go ahead and implement payment. As for me, I will always choose to implement payments over any other minor frivolous stuff, okay? So we're going to make sure that this our search bar that has been here starts working. To do that, we're going to implement two strategies. The first strategy is the old trick that most of the modern social networks and websites do. What they do is once you search something, they save that search term under your name so that they can now know that it's your interest. So if somebody just comes to our platform and searches for PHP, automatically we know that this person has an interest in PHP. So we can be able to tailor whatever they are seeing on the websites or whatever adverts they are seeing to PHP. And also we can tailor our newsletters to PHP. So we can always come and find clients that are interested in PHP to let them know that they are new PHP developers. Okay, so to do that, we need a model on the database called skills. It's called search or searches. So we're going to create a new table on database and call it searches. Remember, all our tables on the database must be named in plural. So it's going to be searches, and we're going to call it search term. Let's say it's going to have 4 fields. So we can say go. And once it's just created, what we'll do is an ID and the title of the search or the name. So let's call it title of the search. Then the user that is making this search, user ID. And then apart from user ID, we can see something like an IP address, user IP. Because sometimes people can search without actually being logged in. So what else can we track about this user? Well, so far, nothing else. The next thing we're going to do is to make sure that we save the time that they search for it, created that, and updated that. So to be able to get a user ID, we might have to force each person to sign up before they can search. But it all depends on the decisions, business decisions we want to take. So I'm just going to set this to 255. And the user ID is usually 11, an integer it's 11, and this is a date time that doesn't have any value, date time. Okay, and then we have a date time, and then this must be auto increment, and then we click OK. Once we OK, then we're good to go. Then some of these things can be null. For instance, the IP address can be null, and if the user ID is null, then we probably don't need to save the search term. So user ID can be null, IP can be null, but then the title cannot be null. So and created and updated cannot be null too. So we're good to go. So of course you pan to the right and hit on the save button. And now we have saved and we're good to go. Alright, so we now have searches because we want to do a shrewd stuff, that is to track the search for each person. So what we're going to do next is to actually open our command line and of course run a command that will create a model. So we're going to cd into the bin folder, and then we're going to do php raw make model. And what's the model? Search model. So that's okay. And then once it's done, we will also create our controllers, and then we'll create a view. PHP raw make controller searches controller, and then PHP raw make view searches. Remember, the view name must be the same name with the name in your database. And good, we are good to go. So the next thing we're going to do is to restart our server, because I actually stopped the server before running this. So this is the code for restarting your server, and oops, because we're in the wrong directory. I'll exit that directory. I just left from bin to raw PHP. Then I'll run the code again and we're good to go. Alright, so see you in the next video where we actually go into our controller and make things to work. Thank you and see you.